Hey Linda, how are you? Thank you so much for joining.
I'm good, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So share with everyone who's watching, how long have you been a student for, or when did you start, and what inspired you to start? What inspired you to say, you know what, I want to learn how to be a coach?
Okay. I first met you back March, nearly just over 2.5 years ago in Brisbane at one of your free events. You found me on Facebook, and I really had no idea what I was coming along to, and I was just going to stay for an hour. And I think it was, what is it, a two day event. Took I was hooked pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe I walked into a room of people that were talking my language that I'd never found before.
Yeah, it's such a thank you so much, first of all, for saying that. And isn't it significant when you find your people, you find your
Mm.
tribe? That could sound a little bit weird from an outsider's point of view. Tell us what did that mean for you? It's like people were speaking your language, we were speaking your
Yep.
language. What was that for you?
Um, it was really, so being an accountant by trade, and having gone through my own journey of burnout, working too much, a ripple effect through my family. And
Mm,
I was looking for something. I didn't know what it was. I always sort of liked the idea of life coaching. I always wanted to help people and hadn't found a platform to do it.
yeah,
And I walked in the door and it was just this nurturing feeling of, hey, let's go and explore this together.
yeah,
And what I loved about it was just such an organic experience. And there were people like me who had no idea what we were getting us, why we were there. We knew we were after
mm,
something, but we didn't know what it was.
mm,
And just to sit down and listen to you and to see some of the things that how you help people, um, and just to start expanding my way of thinking. And it was just like, oh wow, this is it. And I had already been looking around trying to find a place to dive into. So it was just a really nice feeling of sitting in, met some great people in the room who were just normal people who were also
yeah.
looking for something.
Yeah, beautiful. So you were at a point where you'd experienced burnout. You were aware that you were working too much in your old
Mm,
accounting role. You said that impacted your family, and you were aware of that. So were you at a point? It sounds like you were obviously at a crossroads when we met you. Were you
mm.
at a point where you were searching for coaching, or were you searching for the next thing, and then it happened to be, oh, coaching kind of fits that for me?
Yeah, it's interesting. I can't remember whether I would have been Googling something in in the universe, the internet world to find you, or for you to find me. Um, Coming out of school, my options were social work or accounting, and I chose accounting for the career, etc. And that was sort of a family path. But I always wanted to help people. My favorite parts of the role were to help people. And, life coaching, to me, I had done a lot of looking into different types of life coaching, and I've been talking to people, and there's so much out there because it's unregulated. So you really don't know what the right decision to make is. And so I started to throw myself into coming into different things and trying it, and seeing if that was a really good fit. And I also wanted something that I could build a business around. So I knew for me, I needed my own journey, but then I also wanted for it to have a great lifestyle and impact a lot of people anywhere in the world. And sort of this was like, this ticks so many of my boxes.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. I love that I imagine so many people will resonate with this. Like the next phase of your journey had to
Mm,
include something that you love. You wanted to be able to make a difference, but it also needed to work around your lifestyle. It's
mm,
one of the things that I know that we talk about this a lot in the school. It's like when you build your business, keep in mind that you want to love it. You want to have a good time. You want to enjoy it. Otherwise, you're kind of just repeating the old stuff versus being able to really love where you're at. Share with everyone as you started the journey. So you said yes, you committed to the journey. You're a couple of years in, and we kind of know each other quite well because I've been involved in your journey for quite some time. But for everyone else, what was it like for you in your first year? Right? What was the beginning like?
um, it was scary just saying yes. I remember wanting to say yes and having all these emotions of, oh my God, what am I doing? Are you really going to do this? And it took me I think halfway through the second day to finally commit. I knew I wanted to do it, but just to take that jump. A couple of months in, I had my own health journey. So that really changed everything for me for the next 18 months. But within that time, I had met some amazing people at my foundations weekend, and I had got in a couple of trainings in Melbourne, and I'd met people like me. I've met people I could connect with, and they supported me. And so there was personal things that were going on, but as everyone has, and but the journey with the coaching and the learning, and you and I had this conversation not that long ago. Every time you learn and you grow and you challenge yourself, and then you hit another level, and then there's something else where you're pushing it out to, and you're just expanding that comfort zone all the time. So it's an exciting, challenging, overwhelming, all those things rolled up into one, and so much personal growth involved, that it's hard to explain at times what you go through, because everyone has their own thing that they bring, their own lived experience that they bring, and the reason why they're coming to look for purpose and fulfillment, or helping people, or whatever it is. But for me, I just had this drive to help people. I just needed the skills, and I also needed to heal myself.
Thank you. Now, I'd love to know if you're open to share with the audience a little bit more about it. And if not, we'll just edit this bit out. But would you be open to sharing a little bit more about your health challenges? Because I think you are quite amazing in what you've faced. And I think that a lot of people will benefit from hearing maybe a little bit more about it, because people go through their own personal challenges, and a lot of people I think use that as maybe like a feedback that they should really pull everything back in their life, and I think a lot of people put things off too long, COVID and illnesses. So if you could share whatever you're comfortable with about what you've been through, because I do really think it is amazing.
I joined in March. I did my foundations in May. And then I'd come to Melbourne. I just finished with you doing How to Run in July, just over 2 years ago. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which meant that basically I had found something that I was loved and passionate about, and I had to stop. I had to stop building my business. I had to stop a lot of things and go through a year of treatment. But within that time, even though I couldn't work, and even though I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and I had all these great dreams, and I planned everything, I was still able to lie in bed, and I was still able to listen and be part of the world of TCI, and having that wonderful support from everyone within the TCI community, from you guys there in Melbourne to the wider circle, my inner tribe. And so I just had to keep going, because I knew I was on the path to what I wanted to do, and I knew there were obstacles that come up in life, and this was just another one. And it made me such a better coach, because I've been able to help my clients overcome just these setbacks that come out of the blue. And then when I was ready to start stepping back in, there was a really gentle support back in, and whatever I needed, everyone was there for. And now 2.5 years on, when I first started, I have a successful business. I'm really proud of what I've achieved in the time that I've had. And it has just been a matter of, there've been times I've just had to rely on everyone else to just turn up or take notes, or sometimes I've actually just listened to some of the sessions through my friend's phone, because I didn't have the energy to log on, but I was still there. and it has made me a better person, but also a better coach.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It really is an amazing story, and I really hope that it will actually. I know that it will benefit so many people, because that's one of the biggest things that we can face sometimes. And I love that you've shared that it has made you a better coach. I think that is a great reminder for everyone that you can choose how you face your challenges, and you can choose to say, well, all right, this is going to be the reason why I no longer can do the things that I love, or this is going to add to the reasons why I need to keep going and keep paying forward this message. Now, you shared that you obviously have a successful business. If you can please just tell everyone about, like, what do you do? What do you love about it? Feel free to brag a little bit if you're up for it, because I think that'll inspire people as well. You're 2.5 years in, and I know you want to shoot for the sky, but I reckon you're actually doing pretty damn well. So if you can tell everyone where you're at, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, you know me, Matt. And I know TCI talk about this, but it doesn't matter whether you've been in business, you are, whatever your background is, it doesn't matter. You've got connections, you've got knowledge, you can help and inspire people, and start that as your basis for your business, because you just need to start somewhere. And for me, I just did pro bonos to anyone that would listen to me and work with me and help me, go through all my notes and not know where I am. And from there, though, I have my testimonials, and from there they opened up doors. And you don't know where your opportunities are going to come from. One of my biggest opportunities is with Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand, which has come from another network, from another person, and from actually picking up the phone and calling someone and connecting with them. And that's where a lot of the work comes from. It's having that inner courage to say, I've got something of value, I can help someone, and just getting out there and picking up the phone and meeting people. And then the momentum starts to build. I've got clients in Canada, I've got clients in Singapore, I've got clients around the corner. Some are Fortune 500 executives, some are little startup electricians. It's just, and it's so beautiful because you can help people at different stages. I'm still working out, I've got a niche, but I've got a number of different niches. So, I work with business owners, I work with executives, and it just depends on what their needs are. And if I can help them, then, and they want to, pay the rate, then away we go.
Fantastic. Now, you are a coach that's broken through the barrier of doing 6 figures inside your coaching business. When that first happened, what was the feeling like when you go, because I think that amount of money for a lot of people is kind of like, okay, this is really, this is real. This is not just a side hobby. I'm replacing an income with this. What was that moment like?
It was incredible. I had one week where I signed up nearly $100,000 worth of business with 2 clients. That was just like, okay, now I'm on it. For me, it was finding the certainty of what to charge. For me, it was finding my wealth, my value, and to be surrounded with people that will lift you up and go, yep, you're worth it. You're worth it. You and I have had conversations. I've had conversations with other coaches. I've listened to the trainings within TCI where we've got these amazing mentors that will come and go, no, this is what works. So it's surrounding yourself and moving through your own limiting beliefs about your own self-worth. And that's the key, to go, okay, this is what's out in the marketplace. And it brings up a lot of fear. I'm just going to go and I'm going to charge it, and I'm worth it. And then the clients start to come, and then you elevate where and how you find your clients. And you do start it free, and you just have to keep going and find ways into business. That's where, and TCI will say this over and over again, the $100,000 sits within businesses. The 6-figure businesses are in, working with individuals in business, whether it's leadership, executive, it doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
It's just finding the places where it's going to feed that, the lifestyle and the why you're in it for the first, and at the same time, healing yourself and working through your own stuff.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's a great example of the journey. It's about us. It's about our own development. It's about finding the people that you want to work with. I'd love to ask you, you mentioned earlier that you wanted something that allows you to spend more time with your family. I know that family is something that's really important to you. One of the things that I always say to people at TCI is, yes, you can learn how to run a good financial business here, but you've got to focus on the contribution, and you've got to focus on the lifestyle, and the money is a secondary thing. It's not it's not everything, right? It's just there. Tell us a little bit about how your lifestyle has improved. Like what are you proud of when it comes to where you're at right now with maybe the time that you are spending with your kids or you and yeah.
Okay. So, and not to gloss over this, because there's been a lot of 7 days a week on coaching.
For sure.
Because it takes a lot of work to break through the barriers. It takes a lot of work to skill up as a coach. It takes a lot of work to learn how to Facebook market and to turn up every week and to listen to the mentoring sessions, to do your knowledge paper, and then do your next knowledge paper, to do your triads. It does take a lot of effort and commitment. At the end of the day, though, it does fall into place. And so now I can design my week the way I want to. I'm available for my kids when I need to be. And that to me is the biggest gift. I can choose if I want to work on my business on a Saturday or a Sunday or at night, I can. But I can also be available to do whatever I want on it during the week. And I've structured my working week around what I want. So I work, with clients a certain days of the week. And then the other days I have other things planned. And that can also look like, my social media or whatever. But it gives me choice.
Yeah.
And that's what I went into this for. It gives me choice to be able to do what I want when I want to do it.
It's great. Now, Linda, I think I'm pretty sure I've said this to you many times. I hope I've communicated it, but you've done an amazing job over the last couple of years. You really have, and especially what you've faced as an added thing, right? Compared to everyone else, not everyone gets breast cancer inside the first 2.5 years of them starting a business. You had that and everything else to move through, and you've had great success. I know because of the type of person you are, you're probably only a quarter way there of where you want to head and what you want to create for yourself, which is amazing. But congratulations.
Thanks, Matt.
You're really welcome. And there's going to be people watching this that'll be inspired by your story. What would you say to someone who's watching this, who's thinking about getting started themselves and becoming a coach with us here at TCI? What would you say to them?
I would say feel everything that comes up for you, because it's going to feel uncomfortable and very exciting and nervous. And just do it. Just do it. It's the best thing, honestly, I have done in my life, apart from my family stuff, outside of my family stuff.
Yeah.
To committing to the journey for me and to designing life on my terms. It's been hands down the best thing.
It's great. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt. You're very welcome.